Okay guys, welcome to this Key Stage 4 question bank on area. So in this video we'll be looking at the area of a square, a rectangle, a trapezium, a parallelogram, okay, a triangle, and potentially the area of a circle as well, okay. So we're looking at some very different types of shapes, okay, from the White Rose Maths, okay, PowerPoint, okay. Just to be clear guys, this is a PowerPoint obviously made by them, okay. So yeah, please obviously bear that in mind guys, as I go through today's video. It is quite a long video today guys, looking at around like 60-70 questions, okay. So 60-70 questions, okay. So please feel free to obviously dip in and out of this video, grabbing your pen, pencil, iPad, your Chromebook, your notebook, whatever it is, and making notes for today's video, okay. So that is the plan for today's video, okay guys. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so kicking off actually with question number 1 guys. The diagram shows a rectangle, so it's 15 by 8. Work out the area. So the area will be 15 times 8. Okay, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. So it's 15 times 8. Okay, now a little trick here. Okay, timesing by 8 is like trebling it 3 times. So I times it by 2, times it by 2, times it by 2 to make it a bit easier for myself. Okay, when I work this out, so 15 times 2 is 30, 30 times 2 is going to be 60, 66 times 2 is going to be 120, so my answer is going to be 120, and the units for area is centimeters squared, okay. So that is question number 1 complete guys. So the formula to work out the area of a rectangle is length times width guys, okay. Answer for that one, okay, there we go. So White Rose Maths answer, okay. Question number 2, work out the area of this rectangle. 3.5 meters by 1.8. So again, it'll be 3.5 times 1.8. Okay. So multiplying decimals here. So I'm going to do 35 times 18 and then divide my answer by 100, okay, to put the place value back in, okay. So 8 5s are going to be 40, so 0 carry the 4. 8 3 is going to be 24, plus 4 is going to be 28, so it's going to be 28 there. Put a 0 there. 1 times 5 is going to be 5, okay. 1 times 3 is going to be 3, okay. And I'm now going to add my answers together, okay. 0 plus 0 is going to be 0. 8 plus 5 is going to be 13, so 3 carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is going to be 5, plus 1 is going to be 6 guys, okay. I'm now going to divide this by 100, so decimal point goes there, so the answer would be 6.3 meters squared, okay. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why have I divided by 100? Well, to go from 33.5 to 35, I times that by 10. To go from 1.8 to 18, I times it by 10. So overall, I have to divide my answer by 10 squared, okay, to hop the decimal place back in, okay. So 10 squared is 100, so I divided my answer by 100, and that's how I got 6.3 meters squared, okay. Please revise this topic guys. It's a very hot topic that appears on question 1 pretty much every single year actually on a non-calculated paper here, worth like 3 to 4 marks, okay. So revise multiplying decimals and dividing decimals actually, so it's quite a big hot topic here on the Edexcel exam board, okay, as well as AQA and obviously OCR, but it appears quite a lot actually on Edexcel guys, okay. So 6.3 guys, okay. This next question, the rectangle below has an area of 48 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x. So the area of a rectangle is length times width, so be x times 6 is equal to 48, okay. Now I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 6. Okay, doing that, I get x is equal to 48 sixths, which is equal to 8 centimeters, okay, or just 8, okay, because the cm is there. Okay, so x is equal to 8, guys, okay, so x is equal to 8, and again, we can check our answer. 8 times 6 is 48, okay, 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8, guys, okay, hopefully that makes sense. X equals 8. Okay, this next question, the square and rectangle have the same area, so we've got 8, okay, So it's 8 by 8 for this one, okay, because it has a special property. Find the value of g. Okay, so the special property of a square is that the length and widths are the same. Okay, so the area of the square, guys, is going to be length times width, or L times L, okay, because the side length are the same. So it'll be 8 times 8, or 8 squared. So 8 8s are going to be 64. So the area of the square, guys, is 64 centimeters squared. Okay. Now, it has the same area as the rectangle. So therefore, I can say that 10 times g, or g times 10, is equal to 64. Okay, because the area of the rectangle is length times width, okay, or base times height. Okay, so dividing both sides of my equation by 10, okay, we get that g is equal to 64 tenths. So g is equal to 6.4 as a decimal. So 6.4, okay, as my answer. Okay, so it's 6.4 centimeters, guys, okay, for that one. Okay, and that's how to solve that question. Okay, there we go. Okay, answer for that. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier, this one. Here is a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is decreased by 10%. The width of the rectangle is increased by 25%. Part A, calculate the area of the new rectangle. Okay, so the length has decreased by 10%. That means I'm going to do 20 multiplied by 0.9, okay? Because I've taken off obviously 10%, guys. Okay, so I'm multiplying by the remaining 90%, and 90% as a decimal is 0.9. Working this out, I'm going to get 18 centimeters here. So 18 centimeters. Okay, this next one, the width of the rectangle is increased by 25%. So I'm going to do 12 multiplied by 1.2. If I have to do a slightly more trickier, or what I can do here is I can do a quarter of 12. Okay, a quarter of 12 is going to be 3, and then add that on, that'll be 15. So 15 centimeters, guys. Okay, so the area of the new rectangle will be 18 multiplied by 15. Okay, if we work it out, guys, we get the answer of 270 centimeters squared. Okay, for that one. Okay. Okay, so if you're not sure, then I can just do a quick multiplication to the side. Okay, 8 5 is going to be 40, so 0, carry the 4. 5 1 is going to be 5, plus 4 is going to be 9. Put a placeholder. 1 times 8 is 8, 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, if you add your answers together, you get 0, 17, and you get 270 there, guys. Okay. So that's my answer for part A. For part B, find the percentage increase in the area of the rectangle. Okay, so the percentage increase, well, the original area is 20 by 12. So 20 times 12. Well, 12 times 2 is 24, and then add on a 0, I'm going to get 240 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's the original area, so 240 centimeters squared for the original area. Okay, so the percentage increase, well, I'm going to work out the difference in the areas and divide it by the original area, which is going to be 240, and then times it by 100. Okay, so it'll be 270 minus 240, which will be 30, divided by the original area, which will be 240, and then multiply that by 100. Working this out, guys, so simplify 30 240ths, I get 1/8, dividing top and bottom by 30 of that fraction, times it by 100. 1/8 times 100 is going to be 100/8, which simplifies to 12.5%. Okay, so 12.5%. Okay, because a quarter of 400 is 25, so it's half of a quarter, guys. It's half of 25%. Okay, and that's the next question complete, guys. I hope that makes sense. Okay, White Rose Maths answer, there we go. Okay, for that one. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, This next one, work out the area of the triangle. Area of the triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So it's 9 times 7 divided by 2. Okay, 9 sevens are going to be 63. So it'll be 63 halves meters squared. Or I can write it as a mixed number or a decimal. Okay, so that'll be 31.5 meters squared. Okay, because 62 divided by 2 is 31. Okay, and then 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, so I add that on, I get 31.5 meters squared. Okay, that's my answer for that question. There we go. Okay, this next one, calculate the area of this triangle. Again, it's base times height divided by 2, so it'll be 14. So it's base times the perpendicular height. So 14 times 7, all divided by 2. So it's base times height divided by 2. Okay, so working this out, okay, I can actually cancel this here actually, so divide top and bottom by 2, I get 1 and I get 7 to make it a bit easier. 7 sevens are going to be 49, so it'll be 49 out of 1, which is equal to 49, okay, meters squared. And that's my answer for this question, okay, is base times the perpendicular height, guys. So I'll put a PH there, so perpendicular height divided by 2, okay. So perpendicular height means it's perpendicular to the ground, okay? It meets the ground or the floor at 90 degrees, okay? So that is what it means, okay? It is not a slanted height, okay? So it's not this one here, okay? There we go, 49, guys, okay? This next one, the area of the triangle is 35 meters squared. Okay, calculate the value of A. So it will be base times height divided by 2 is equal to the area, which in this case is equal to 35. Okay, so I'm going to form my equation and then solve it. Okay, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so I get 5 times A is equal to 70. Divide both sides by 5. Okay, and we get that A is equal to 14, guys. Okay, so that's my answer for that question. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so White Rose Maths answer, here we go. Okay, so A is equal to 14, okay? This next one, the diagram shows the shape on a centimeter grid. Okay, so this is actually quite important. Find the area of this shape. Well, I need the base and the height, okay? So it goes across 4 squares across, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the perpendicular height is equal to 5. So it's 4 times 5, all divided by 2. Okay, 4 times 5 is going to be 20, so I get 20 halves, or 20 over 2, which is equal to 10. Okay, now the units are going to be centimeters squared. Okay, so that's my answer for that one. Okay, so 10 centimeters squared. Okay, so always read the question carefully when it comes to the conversions, okay, or your units. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier. Okay, so this is actually a parallelogram. Okay, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 across, guys, and we want the perpendicular height. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the area of a parallelogram, guys, is just the base times the perpendicular height. Okay, so base times perpendicular height. Okay, base times height. Okay, is the perpendicular height, guys, remember. Okay, so it's 6 times 5, which is equal to 30, and the units are centimeters squared because it says centimeter grid on there. Okay, so underline that if it actually helps you in the exam, guys. Okay, there's a mean squared. Okay, White Rose Maths answer. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier. This is what I call a trapezium. Okay, or what I could do, okay, is work out the area of this square, work out the area of the triangle, and then add it together if it's any more easy. Okay, so let's do actually this way. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 by 5. So the area of this square is 5 times 5, which would be 25 centimeters squared. Okay, for the area of this square. Okay, 5 by 5. Okay, the area of this triangle will be base times height divided by 2. So it'll be 2, okay, times 5 divided by 2. So 5 divided by 2, okay, I'm going to get 10 halves, which is equal to 5, guys. Okay, so 5 centimeters squared. So 5 centimeters squared. Okay, so the total area will be the area of the square plus the area of the triangle, which would be 30 centimeters squared. Okay, so this is what I also call a compound shape. Okay, so you can split the shape into squares, rectangles, triangles, whatever it is, to help you work out the area of each bit and then add it together. If it was the area of a trapezium, you would have done so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would have done the parallel sides added together, divided by 2, and then times it by the perpendicular height. Okay, so 7 plus 5 will be 12, divided by 2 will be 6. 6 times 5 is going to be 30. Okay, so that's using the formula, okay, for the area of a trapezium, a plus b divided by 2 multiplied by the perpendicular height, okay, or by the height, okay, where a and b are your two parallel sides of the shape. Okay, there we go, 30 centimeters squared. Okay, this one's a bit more tricky now. So draw an isosceles triangle with an area of 10 centimeters squared. Okay, so isosceles means that two side lengths are going to be the same. Okay, so for the sake of ease, we'll have these two diagonal bits the same. Okay, and this part being different. Okay, now an area of 10 centimeters squared, well, remember that I'm going to do base times height divided by 2. Okay, and that has to equal to 10. So if I rearrange this, if the base times the height equals 20, then I've worked out my answer. Okay, so I'm going to do a triangle with 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do 4 by 5, guys. You can see what happens. So 4 by 5. Sorry, we'll do 5 by 4. Sorry, so 5 across. Okay, and then we'll have to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll have to put it bang in the middle here. Okay, there we go. So it'll be from there to there, from there to there. Okay, this is 5. The height is 4. 5 times 4 is 20, so that is one possible answer. Okay, so 5 by 4. You could have done 4 by 5, actually, that would also have worked. Okay, but it is nice isosceles triangle here, so try and obviously make the numbers here like as easy as possible. Okay, and put it obviously here in the middle, because these two lengths have to be the same. Okay, but that is a potential answer. Again, there is more than one answer for this, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, so any isosceles triangle with base times height equals 20. So these are your possible answers. Okay, so it's a bit more tricky now. Okay, draw a scalene triangle with an area of 10 centimeters squared. Okay, on the grid below. Okay, so scalene means that all the side lengths are going to be different. Okay, so that is actually going to that will actually make things here a bit more trickier. Okay, but again, base times height has to equal to 20. If we're not sure, remember the formula is base times height divided by 2. Oh, sorry guys. So base times height divided by 2 has to equal to 10. Therefore, base times height is going to be 20. Okay. And again, this is a bit more trickier. Okay, let's just do, okay, so you could actually do a right angled triangle here, because technically a right angled triangle, okay, the side lengths are not the same. Okay, so for example, okay, if it's like, I could use obviously Pythagoras theorem here, so I could say that this is 4, this is 5, Okay, and this obviously, yeah, so use obviously Pythagoras theorem here. So this would be the square root of 25 actually plus 16. So that'd be the square root of 41. Okay, these side lengths are not the same actually. So I can actually do that actually technically, okay? Because a right angled triangle by definition has a right angle. It does not mean that the side lengths are equal, okay? In fact, using Pythagoras, okay, you have 4 squared plus 5 squared here square rooted, okay, which would be 16 plus 25, which is 41. 41 rooted is definitely not equal to 4, not equal to 5, okay, because the square root of 36 is 6, so the square root of 41 is 6 point something, so 6 point something, yeah, so that means that all three side lengths are going to be different, okay, so 4, oops, sorry. Again, guys, yeah, make sure that a ruler here is being used here. So 4 by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, bang. Okay, that would also work. Okay. Okay, so that is one way of getting around that, obviously practically, okay? But again, make sure that you're happy with Pythagoras' theorem, okay? A squared plus B squared equals C squared, guys, okay? I'm using that in the context of that this would be the hypotenuse here, and that is obviously going to be longer than these two side lengths together, okay? And these two are not actually equal, okay? That's 4 by 5, and that's a square root of 41 for that, okay? Again, 4 times 5 is going to be 20. Okay, divide it by 2, and we get that the area is equal to 10, guys. So that does confirm a possible answer. Okay, sorry if I'm actually waffling on there quite a bit, but hopefully that makes sense. Okay, again, here are some white rose maths, okay, possibilities. Okay, that one. Okay, so any scaling triangle with base times height equals to 20. Okay, so they're your possible answers, guys. Okay, it's a bit more trickier now. So the diagram shows a trapezium on a centimeters grid below. On the grid, draw a triangle with the same area as the trapezium. Okay, so let's work out the area of the shape of the trapezium. Okay, so for the rectangle, okay, it'll be 4 by 3, so that'll be 12 centimeters squared there. The area of this triangle is base times height divided by 2, so it'd be 1, 2, so 2 by 3 divided by 2, so I'm going to get the answer of 6 halves, which is equal to 3 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's my answer for this first part. Okay, so I need a triangle, okay, that has an area of 15 centimeters squared, which means therefore the base times the height has to equal to 30. Okay, so I can do many different ways here. I can do 3 by 10. So if I do 3 by 10, okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, okay, doesn't go up to 10 actually. Okay, so let's do 5 by 6, guys. Okay, or 6 by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. Again, guys, I'm doing obviously freehand here because obviously I've not got a ruler in this video. Okay, but make sure yeah, that you use a ruler and a pencil for these sketches or these drawings. Okay. There we go, guys. Okay, so an area triangle here that has an area of 15 centimeters squared, okay? Or base times height equals 30, okay? Either way. Okay, a square has an area of 49 meters squared. Work out the length of one side of the square. So I'm actually going to be working backwards here. So a square, the property is that all the side lengths are the same, guys, okay? So I can label a side length as the letter X, okay? So X meters, okay? So be X by X, X by X. So the area of a square is length times width, so be X times X, which is equal to 49, okay? there. X times x is going to be x squared. X squared equals 49. Okay, now the opposite of squaring will be to square root. So x is equal to the square root of 49. So what number times by itself to give me 49? Well, that be 7, okay, because 7 times 7 is 49, okay, or 7 squared is 49, okay. 49 is what I call a square number. Okay, so the answer would be 7 meters, guys. Yeah, I'll put x meters there, x meters there, x meters there, and x meters there. Okay, so the answer would be 7 meters. Okay, now a little quick note, guys, here on this part here. Here, technically, I meant to put a plus and minus here, and that is actually true. However, I do not take the negative root of this number because I'm dealing with like a side length, so I cannot have a negative length. So I've actually disregarded the negative root here. But technically, yes, when you solve a quadratic, when you solve a quadratic equation in the form x squared equals a number, x equals plus or minus the square root of that number. But in this context, okay, the negative, okay, would can't obviously be used here because it's negative length, okay, and I cannot have a negative length. Okay, 7 then. Okay, the length of a rectangle is double the width, its width. Okay, the area of a rectangle is 32 centimeters squared. Work out the length of the rectangle. Okay, so a quick sketch. Sorry, it's not actually drawn perfectly here. So the length. Okay, so I'll call the width x, and the length I'll call it 2x because it's double the length of the width. Okay, the area of a triangle is length times width, or base times height. 2x times x has to equal to 32. Okay, so I have 2x squared is equal to 32. Okay, dividing both sides by 2. Okay, I get x squared is equal to 32 halves, which is equal to 16. So x squared is equal to 16. X is equal to plus or minus the square root of 16, which is equal to plus or minus 4. Again, I disregard the negative value because I'm working in length. So x is equal to 4, okay, is the length of x, guys. So x is equal to 4. Therefore, the length, okay, of my rectangle is 2 lots of 4. Okay, so the length would be 2 lots of 4. 2 times 4, which is equal to 8, guys. So the length of my rectangle is 8 centimeters. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, they obviously used A here, but you're able to use any letter, guys, X, Y, or Z. Okay, whatever letter you want. Okay, there we go. Okay, the base of a triangle is 1/3 the height of the triangle. Okay, the area of the triangle is 24 meters squared. Okay, or meters squared. Work out the height of the triangle. Again, a rough sketch, guys, to obviously help you out here. Okay, so I've got to be a bit more careful actually here, guys. So that's my height and that's the base. Okay, so if if the height, we'll call it x, okay, the base will be 1/3 of that, so it'll be 1/3 x, okay. So being obviously very careful here, guys. So it's base times height divided by 2, so it's 1/3 x multiplied by x. That's all divided by 2 here, so be very, very, very careful here, guys. Yeah, so that's all divided by 2, okay, and that has to equal to 24. Okay, first step is to multiply both sides by the 2, so I'm going to get 1/3 x squared is equal to 48. Okay, times up by 3 on both sides. We will get that x squared is equal to 48 times 3. So let's work it out. 48 times 3 to the side. 8 threes are going to be 24, so 4 carry the 2. 3 times 4 is going to be 12, actually, plus the 2 is going to be 4, so we'll get 144. So x minus g equals 144. X equals plus or minus the square root of 144. Again, we'll obviously ignore the minus root, okay, because we're dealing with length. So we get plus or minus 12, okay? So x is equal to 12, therefore the height is also equal to 12, okay, because the height is equal to x in this case, okay, so the height is equal to 12, guys, okay, so the height is equal to 12 centimeters. Okay, so that's how to solve that problem. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, just to be clear, guys, the x squared came from x times x. Okay, so I had a third x squared actually on the top. I times by 2 on both sides. So I had a third x squared actually equals 48. I times it by 3 and then I square rooted it, guys. Okay, yeah, just to be clear. There goes your answer for this. Okay, it's a bit more tricky now, actually, guys. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit more like wordier question. The diagram shows a garden in the shape of a trapezium. Part A, work out the area of the garden. So the formula for the area of a trapezium, guys, is the sum of the parallel sides. So be 11 plus 7 divided by 2 multiplied by the perpendicular height, which should be 6. 11 plus 7 is going to be 18. I'm going to get 18 halves. Okay, 18 halves times 6. Okay, so that'll be 9 times 6, which will be 54 meters squared. Okay, so the area of the garden is 54 meters squared, guys. Okay, a gardener wants to cover the garden in grass seeds. Grass seeds is sold in boxes that cost £6.99 each. There is enough grass seeds in each box to cover 15 meters squared of garden. Work out the least cost of putting grass seeds on the garden. Okay, so if I do 54 divided by 15, that will tell me how much I'm going to need each year, obviously, to times it by 6.99. Okay, so if I work this out, okay, 15, 30, 45, so that'll be 3 and 9 15th here. So yeah, it's a bit of a, okay, so 3 point something. Okay, so let's obviously simplify this part here actually. Yeah, so I'm going to have 3. So dividing this by 3, I'm going to get 3 3/5. So it'll be 3.6 on the actually. So 3.6 of that. So I will actually need 4 of those grass boxes because I cannot have 0.6 of a grass box. A grass box, sorry. So it'll be 6.99 times 4. Now, a little trick here to make it a bit easier for you. If I do 7 times 4 and then take away 4 pence, so 7 times 4 will be 28, take away 4 pence will be £27.96, guys, okay? So that's a little trick there, okay? Because you're knocking off a penny each time, okay? For 4 times, so 7 times 4 will be 28, and then minus the 4 pence, and I get £27.96, guys. Okay, there we go, guys. So answer for these guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, this next one, the diagram shows a right angled triangle and a rectangle H. The area of the triangle is equal to the area of the rectangle. So calculate the value of H. So the area of the triangle, guys, again, base times height divided by 2. Okay, so that would be 48 halves, which is equal to 24 centimeters squared. Okay, that one. So I can now say that H times 12 is equal to 24. Dividing by 2 on both sides, we get that H is equal to 24 twelfths. Okay, which is equal to 2, guys. So H is equal to 2. Okay, H equals 2 centimeters. Okay, you guys, there we go. Okay, it's a bit more tricky now, guys. So the diagram shows a rectangle and a right angle triangle. The area of the rectangle is 3 times the area of the triangle. Okay, so whatever the area here is, okay, so be 3 lots of whatever it is there, okay, essentially. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, so the area of this rectangle will be y times 12, so it'll be 12y centimeters squared. Okay, for the area. The area of the rectangle will be 8 times 4, divided by 2, okay, which is going to equal to 32 halves, which is equal to 16. So 16 centimeters squared. Now, being obviously very careful, guys, yeah. So the rectangle is 3 times the area of the triangle. So, let me squared. So I'm going to multiply 16 by 3. So the total area will be 16 times 3, which is 48. Okay, so we have 12y is equal to 48. Dividing both sides by 12, I'm going to get y is equal to 48 twelfths. Okay, which simplifies to the number 4. So 4 centimeters. Okay, so y is equal to 4 centimeters, guys. Okay, and again, these are very, very, very common questions, particularly on higher tier papers for Edexcel and OCR and AQA. Okay, for forming and solving equations and comparing, yeah, the areas together. Okay, yeah, so obviously practice these questions, guys, if you can, in school. Okay, there we go. Okay, the diagram shows a square and a right angle triangle. The area of the square is half the area of the rectangle. So calculate the side length of the square. The area of the triangle will be base times height divided by 2. So 4 nines are going to be 36. 36 divided by 2, I get the answer is 18. So it's 18 centimeters squared, guys. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, so it's half of that. So I'm going to do 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So the area of the square is 9 centimeters squared. Okay, each side length is the same. Okay, so I label that as x and x and x and x. Okay, because side length is the same. X times x is going to be x squared. So x squared is equal to 9. X is going to be the square root of 9. So x equals the square root of 9, which is equal to 3, guys. So x is equal to 3 centimeters, okay? Or the length is equal to 3 centimeters, okay? There we go, okay? So calculate the area of the shape. Okay, this is what I call a compound shape. So I'll make it into 2 rectangles. Okay, so 11 by 3, 11 times 3 will be 33 centimeters squared. And then this one, okay, well, this length is 4. This has to be 7 because 7 plus 4 makes the 11. Okay, and then this length here, well, all this is going to be 10. That'll be 3, so that has to be 7 as well. So this actually ends up being a square. 7 by 7 is going to be 49 centimeters squared. Okay, 7 times 7. 49 plus 33, guys. So it's going to be 12. That's going to be 82. So answer will be 82 centimeters squared, guys. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. There we go. Okay. This next one, work out the area of the shape. Okay, so I'll make it into 2 different shapes. Okay, 15 times 11. Well, 15 times 10 is going to be 150. Add on 15 again next year, so I'll get 165 millimeters squared. And then this one, it'll be 5 by what? Well, this is 15. That's 22. So 15 plus what is going to be 22. 15 plus 7 is going to be 22. Okay, 7 times 5 will equal to 35 centimeters squared. If you add your answers together, 165 plus 35. There, carry the 1. That'll be 10 again, sorry. That'll be 2 there. So the answer is 200 millimeters squared, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, the area of the compound shape is 144. Work out the length of P. Okay, so this one's a bit more tricky, guys. Okay, so what I'll do is, okay, so I'll make it so it's like this, okay? I'll be obviously very careful here. So this length here will be 12 minus P. And the reason for that is this plus this has to equal this, okay? This next one, this would have to equal to 10 because 10 plus 8 is going to be 18. Okay, I'll just put the centimeters next to it. Okay, so the area of this rectangle will be P times 18, so that'll be 18 P centimeters squared. The area of this rectangle will be 12 minus P times 10. Okay, so it'll be 10 lots of 12 minus P. So that'll be 120 subtract 10P when I expand that bracket. Okay, so 120 minus 10P. Okay, if we collect the like terms, so the total area will be this plus this. Well, that'll be 120 plus 8P is equal to 144, guys. That's because 18P plus minus 10P is 18P subtract 10P, okay, which is equal to 8P, okay, and then I've got the 120 there, okay. That has to equal to the total area, which is 144. I can now rearrange this, so minus 120 on both sides, so I get 8P is equal to 24. Dividing both sides by 8, I'm going to get that P is equal to 24/8, which is equal to 3. So P is equal to 3 centimeters, guys. Okay, so that was a bit more tricky, guys. Okay, so you had to form your two expressions, collect your like terms, and then equate that to 144, and then rearrange that. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. There we go, guys. Okay, that's my answer for this. Okay, or that's another way of doing it. Okay, a pattern is made from 3 congruent right-angled triangles. Yeah, so that is just quite important here. So find the total area of the pattern. Okay, so the area of one triangle will be base times height divided by 2. So it will be 6 times 10. Okay, divided by 2, so I'll get 30 centimeters squared for the area of one triangle, and if I times that by 3, so 3 lots of 30 or 30 lots of 3, okay, it's going to be 90 centimeters squared, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, right, this next one, a pattern is made using congruent squares. Okay, the area of the pattern is 405 meters squared. Okay, so work out the side of one of the squares. Okay, so that's a bit more trickier. So a pattern is made. Okay, so this is not actually very actually obvious here. So congruent squares. So if we see, okay, so what are the factors of 405, guys? Okay, so 405 actually here. So 1 times 405. Okay, 2 doesn't go into it. 3 does. So what is 405 actually divided by 3? 3 into 4 go once. 1 left over. 3 into 10 go 3 times with 1 left over. 3 into 15 goes 5 times. Okay, so it'll be 135. 5 goes into it. Okay, so 5 goes into it. Okay, 81 times. Okay, now here, okay, so I can have a shape or a pattern that has 5 squares. The reason for that is because 81 is a square number, so I can take the square root of that, okay? So I can have 5 squares, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So if I do the square root of 81, that will tell me what each side length will be of one of a square. So that'd be 9. Okay, so the side length would just be 9 meters. Okay, so that was a pretty actually tricky question, guys. Actually, yeah. So it's recognizing, or is it? Yeah, it's actually like simplifying like a third here. So it's recognizing, knowing the biggest square number factor that goes into 405. That will be 81. Okay, and then doing the square root of 81 actually, which is equal to 9, because 9 times 9 is going to be 81. Okay, so that was actually that was actually quite like a tricky question, guys. Yeah, so don't panic here if you didn't actually get it here, but obviously watch it again here if you need to. Okay, so just to be clear, guys, I found the highest square number factor that goes into 405. Okay, that was 81. Okay, I can make 5 squares, okay, with an area of 81 actually. So 81, yeah. So each one actually has an area of 81. Okay, 81, 81. Okay, the property of a square is that length and width are going to be the same. So I can just do the square root of 81 actually, which gives me 9. That's my answer for that question. Okay, so it's a bit more of a tricky question, guys. Okay, this next one, okay, a bit more tricky now. So the pattern is made actually using congruent triangles here. So congruent triangles means it's the same size triangles. Okay, sorry, congruent rectangles. Sorry, not triangles. Sorry. Find the area of the pattern. Okay, so the yes, it's a bit more tricky here. So it's recognizing, okay, this guys. Okay, yeah. So it's knowing our rules here. Okay, so we want the height or the of that one rectangle bar. Okay. Now here, the height and the width here make 17. Okay, and here 2 heights and a width make 29. Okay, so I can form a pair of simultaneous equations to work out the length of one height or one bar and the width of one bar. Okay, so from this one here, so the height, sorry, yeah, the length plus the width has to equal to 17. Here, it will be 2 lots of the length plus the width has to equal to 29. Okay, so again, label this 1 and 2. So 2 take away 1, so equation 2 to take away equation 1. Okay, 2L minus L is going to be 1L, so the length will equal to 12. Okay, because W minus W goes to 0. So they just go, okay, it should be a W there. Okay, so length is equal to 12. Okay, therefore the width, so 12 plus y is going to be 17. So therefore the width is going to be 5 centimeters. Okay, so the width is equal to 5 centimeters. Therefore the area of one rectangle will be 12 times 5, which is 60 centimeters squared. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles, so 60 times 5 is going to be 300 centimeters squared, guys, and that's the answer for that one. Okay, there we go, guys. So that's my answer for that one. Okay, this next one, the diagram shows a rectangle and a right angle triangle. The area of the rectangle is 4 times the area of the triangle. Work out the value of x. Okay, so 8 times 9 is going to be 72, so the area of the rectangle is 72 centimeters squared. The area of the triangle will be 6 times x divided by 2. So simplifying this, I will get 3x centimeters squared. Okay, so that's my answer for that first part. Okay, so the area of this one is 3x centimeters squared. The area of the rectangle is 4 times the area of the triangle, so 4 times. So if I do 72 divided by 4, that will give me the area of the triangle. So half it and then half it again. Half of 72 is going to be 36. Half of 36 is going to be 18. So we have 3x is equal to 18. So 3x is equal to 18. Dividing both sides by 3, I'm going to get that x is equal to 18 thirds. So x is equal to 6 centimeters, guys. So x is equal to 6 centimeters. Okay. Oh no, I think I've made a mistake here, guys. Sorry. It's 4 times. I think it's actually, yeah, the answer is meant to be 6, guys, okay? Not 24. Okay, so it should be 6. Okay. This next one, the diagram shows the trapezium, or shows a trapezium, guys, with an area of 24 centimeters squared. Work out the perpendicular height of the trapezium. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 plus 3, all divided by 2, multiplied by the height, and that has to equal to 24. Okay, so rearrange this, guys. So 5 plus 3 is going to be 8. 8 halves, or 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. So I'm going to have 4 times h is equal to 24. Dividing both sides by 4, guys, to get h by itself, we will get that h is equal to 24 quarters. So h is equal to 6 centimeters, guys. Okay, so h is equal to 6 centimeters. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier now. Okay, so the diagram shows 2 squares. Okay, calculate the area of the shaded square. Okay, so one way I can do is I can work out the area of the 4 triangles, work out the area of the big square, and then do the area of the big square minus the area of the 4 triangles. Okay, so that would actually work. Okay, so here that'll be 9, that'll be 5, that'll be 9, and that'll be 5. Okay, so the total area of the whole square is 14 times 14, which is 196 centimeters squared. Okay, the area of one triangle, okay, will be 5 times 9 divided by 2, so I will get 45 halves, okay, centimeters squared. I've got 4 lots of that, so I'll do 45 actually over 2 times 4. So let's obviously simplify this. Okay, so divided by 2 there, divided by 2 there, so cross cancel or cross simplify. Okay, so I'll get 45 times 2, which will be 90, so I'll get 90 over 1, which is equal to 90, guys. Okay, so 90 centimeters squared for the area of the 4 triangles. Okay, 196 take away 90 will give us the shaded square, so that'll be 106 centimeters squared, guys. Okay, another way is to use Pythagoras' theorem to work out the length of this side. So doing 9 squared plus 5 squared here is square rooted. Okay, so if you do that here, you'll get 81 here plus 45 square root. Sorry, plus 25. So you will get the square root of 106. Okay, so root 106 here times root 106 here will give you 106. Okay, so that also works as well. Okay, so that's obviously their method of doing it. Okay, so this one's a bit more. Oops, got an answer for that. I apologize. Sorry. I think I missed that question here. So that is the next question, guys. Yeah. Okay, for that one. Okay, so diagram shows two similar triangles. Show that the shaded area is equal to 630 centimeters squared. Okay, yeah, so you look at the answers there, guys. So I apologize for that. Okay, this next one's looking at some similar shapes now. The diagram shows two right angled triangles. A, B, C, and C, D, E are straight lines. Work out the area of ACE. Okay, so I've got this big triangle and this smaller triangle here. Well, the scale factor from BDC to AEC, so this length here from this length here, so I've times that by 6. Okay, so we're going to be very careful actually here, guys. Yeah, so times that by 6. Okay, so I've got to do 7 times 6, which is equal to 42. But 42 is all of this side length here. Okay, so ED is actually 35 centimeters, okay? Because 35 plus 7 is equal to 42. Okay, 42 centimeters, okay? So the area of triangle ACE, so it'd be 42 times 30 divided by 2. So yeah, it's quite actually nice numbers here. Okay, so if I half this, I get 24 times 30. If I work this out, guys, I get the answer of 720, okay, centimeters squared, guys. Okay, so that's my answer for this question, okay? So it's a similar shapes question, guys, yeah, okay? Similar shapes involving ratio, yeah, and obviously scale factors here, okay? Oh, so it should be a mistake there, guys, actually, yeah, unless I made a mistake. Sorry, guys, yeah, sorry, it should be 35, sorry. No, that is actually wrong, guys. It shouldn't be that, because 5 times 6, yeah, it'll be 30, yeah, for the scale factor, yeah. So, oh, I'm not sure actually. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. I think it's actually stumped me actually here, guys. So yeah, okay. So that's the answer for that one. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, this next one, guys. Yeah, so it's getting a bit more trickier now. The diagram shows two right-angled triangles. Okay, ABC and CDE are straight lines. Okay, work out the area of ACE. Okay, so we need this side length here, guys. Okay, so we're going to be very obviously careful here. So, to go from this length here to this length here of this smaller triangle, I've divided it by 8. Okay, so this is my big triangle, guys. Okay, so EAC and BDC is my smaller triangle. Okay, so I've got 24 here and I've got 3 here. Okay, so to go from here to here, I've divided it by 8. Okay, so the issue now is, okay, is to work out this side length here. Okay, now I can work out the area of this trapezium here. Okay, so it'll be 24 plus 3, which can be 27. Okay, divided by 2, that would be 13.5. And then you times that by 14. Okay, so what do I get here? Sorry, guys, I think I made like a little mistake here. Let's just work this out on a calculator. So 14 divided by 8 is 1.75. Okay, 13.5 times 14 is 189 for this area here. Okay, the base of this triangle here will be 3. Okay, I've divided this by 8. So to go from, but the issue here is that if I do 14 divided by 8, but that's not right though, because that's not a scale factor length. Okay, I'm comparing EC with CD, okay, which I don't actually have actually here. So EC will be like 14 plus X, and then obviously DC, I'll just call that X, okay. So 14 plus X, okay, divided by 8 has to equal to X. Times in by X, I'll get 14 plus X is equal to 8X. Subtract X on both sides, okay, I get 14 is equal to 7x. Divide both sides here by 14, and sorry, by 7, sorry, I get x is equal to 2. So this here is equal to 2 centimeters. Okay, therefore the area of this triangle will be base times height divided by 2, so it'll be 3 times 2 divided by 2. Okay, which if you simplify it comes out as 3 centimeters squared. 3 centimeters squared here plus 189 centimeters squared here will give you the total area, which is equal to 192 centimeters squared, guys. 2 centimeters squared. Okay. There we go. So we finally got there, guys. Sorry it took me so long. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it's quite like a nasty one here. So we've got like a trapezium here, or like a square. Okay. So the diagram shows a square. Okay, work out the fraction of the square that is shaded. Okay, so first of all, 15 by 15 here. So the total area is 15 squared, which would be 225, okay, centimeters squared. The area of this first triangle, okay, will be 4 by 13 divided by 2, okay, because 13 plus 2 makes that 15. So it's 4 times 13 divided by 2, which is equal to 26 centimeters squared. The area of this trapezium, so being actually very actually careful actually here, guys. So it'll be 6 plus 2 divided by 2 multiplied by the height, which would be 15. So we get 8 halves, which is equal to 4. 4 lots of 15 will equal to 60. Okay, so 60 centimeters squared. So this is equal to 60. This is equal to 26. Okay, so what's remaining? Well, if I do 60 plus 26 here, I'll get 86. 225 minus 86. So working that out, guys, on my calculator to obviously save us a bit of time. Okay, so 225 subtract 86 is equal to 139. Okay, so the area of the shaded part is 139. So the fraction, okay, will be 139 out of 225. Okay, because that's the total area. Okay, there we go. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier. So H is for higher tier only, I'm guessing. The diagram shows a right angle triangle. The area of the triangle is 15 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x, or calculate the value of x. So it will be 2x, okay, times 3x plus 4, all divided by 2, and that has to equal to the area, which is equal to 15. Okay, times it by 2, so I'm going to get 2x brackets 3x plus 4 is equal to 30. Expand this bracket out, so I'll get 6x squared plus 8x is equal to 30. Bring the 30 over to left hand side, so I've got a quadratic, so minus 30, so I'll get 6x squared plus 8x minus 30 is equal to 0. Okay, I can divide the quadratic actually by 2, so a factor of 2, so I'll have 3x squared plus 4x minus 15 here is equal to 0. Factorize the quadratic. Okay, so it's a bit more trickier. Okay, so we'll have 3x, and then we'll have x to be 3x minus something again, and then be x plus something. So let's obviously test it out, guys. Yeah, so if I put a 3 here and a 5 here, I get 3x squared plus 9x minus 5x here, giving that positive 4x minus 15x here. So that is actually correct, guys. So my solutions are x is equal to 5/3 or x equal to minus 3. I obviously disregard the negative value because I cannot have a negative length. So x cannot equal to minus 3. So x is equal to 5/3, guys. Okay, that's my answer for that question. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Okay, for that one. There we go. That's the answer for that. Okay, last question, guys, here for that video here, so it's a bit more trickier. The diagram shows two squares. Find an expression in terms of A and B for the area of the shaded square. Okay, so one way is to use Pythagoras' theorem, okay, and so that this here will be the square root of A squared plus B squared, pardon me, sorry. Okay, and then this side here actually will be the square root of A squared plus B squared. Okay, so the area of the shaded square here will be length times width, or length times length. So if I do this times this here, so if I have the square root of A squared plus B squared, okay, all squared, the square root and the squares cancel. Okay, leave me with the expression of A squared plus B squared, guys. Okay, so that will be my final answer. Okay, so I use Pythagoras' theorem, guys, to work out the length of the diagonal. Okay, so that'll be A squared here plus B squared here square rooted. Okay, and then I did root A squared here plus B squared here times root A squared here plus B squared. Okay, if you do this times this, okay, so that times that, you will get the answer of A squared plus B squared, guys. Okay, so that is my final answer. Okay, and that's how you prove, yeah, Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, for that one. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so remember the formula, guys, for Pythagoras' theorem. Actually, yeah. So if that's A, that's B. Okay, this length here will be the square root of A squared plus B squared, guys. Okay, obviously in your formula books here, it would actually label this here as C. Okay, but C is equivalent to the square root, so A, B, and C. Okay, so C in this context is the square root of A squared plus B squared, guys. And if we call that C, let's say, C times C makes C squared. Okay, so if you square this and you square this, it'll give you the area of this shaded square. Okay, using the Pythagoras theorem formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared, guys. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, sorry for actually waffling there. Okay, there we go, guys. So that's my answer for that, guys. Okay, right, guys, that's the end of today's video here. So it's quite a long video here. Hopefully it made sense. Sorry, but talking a bit faster here, or any parts that I missed out. Okay, sorry for any sorry for any mistakes here that I actually made it in the video. Okay, hopefully you can forgive me because I've recorded it in like one go. Okay, if you find it useful, please like, comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you can, follow me on TikTok, share, and I'll see you inside the next video. Okay, thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care, all the best, guys. Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon, guys. Okay, bye for now. Take care, all the best, guys. Keep well, keep safe, guys. Okay, see you very soon. Okay, follow me on TikTok if you can, guys. Okay, bye for now. Take care, all the best.